Alright, welcome to my life. We are going to attempt to play 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. Hopefully I'll be able to show you guys how to play it. It's where you play, it's like a journaling game where you play a vampire from the moment he or she becomes a vampire. So, the game mechanics are simple and intuitive. Play progresses semi-randomly through the prompt section of this book here we got. It's got some interesting little pictures. The prompts are going to be in the back in here. You do those, you get those through the roll of, let's see, D10 and a D6. So you answer prompts to learn about your vampire's wants and needs, to learn what challenges they face, and to chart their decline into senescence, build up a character record of memories, and then lose them to the inexorable crush of time. See everyone you've loved and hated grow old and die and turn to dust. Okay, so while playing this game, you'll encounter themes of death, selfishness, and predation. Your character may be injured, victimized, trapped, or killed. Your character will murder, victimize people of all sorts, possibly including children, animals, loved ones, marginalized people, or themselves. You might find yourself exploring themes of imperialism, colonialism, or oppression. Characters might engage in self-harm or drug abuse, illness, debilitation, and body horror may come into play. Your character may have their memories altered. They will certainly forget important things. Some of this will emerge from the prompt. Some will emerge from the choices you make as a player. This is a personal, challenging game for mature adults. Please play hard, but stay aware of yourself and your feelings. Some good thoughts about safety in solo games can be found in Appendix 3. So, if you buy this, make sure you read through the whole book before you start play so you know what you are getting into. I'm not going to go through and read everything, but let's start. Let's start by creating a character. We will record gameplay on my tablet here. It's a journaling type role-playing game, solo. So you got to come up with a character. Let's see. Right here. So start by imagining a person in the distant past. We are gonna. What do I got going on here? We're gonna start with a person named. Okay, oh, there we go. Alright, we're going to call him Delilah today. Her name is Delilah. And you're going to start with one memory that encapsulates their history, kind of tells their backstory in a sense, and, you know, in a short detail. You don't need to go into an elaborate background story. Just tell who they are, whatever. So Delilah What in the world is going on here? So let's see. Delilah is a debating what I should map or do. Let's see. What would let's see. Miss Delilah, what is your story? I am a teenage. Oh, let's see. I'm a. Okay, my brain cramped out on what I wanted to make her do. I tend to overthink things, so it takes me a minute to decide how I want to work her. You know what she does for a living before she becomes a vampire. She. See, I work at an animal shelter. Cleaning the kennels and other things. I think we should go with that. Not really sure. You know what? Let's do this. Sorry, I tend to overthink things and change my mind like 10 million times before I decide on something. So she works at a. No, she works at a tavern. Let's do that. So Lila works as at a tavern. What do they call tavern workers? Maybe. Oh god, I can't even think of what tavern workers would be called. They call them whores? Let's see. Tavern. I tend to overthink things, so let's see. How many of you guys have played 1,000-Year-Old Vampire? If you've watched or if you've played it, let me know. You know, talk about your character or something while I'm trying to overthink here and decide, what I want to call. I'll just call her just tavern worker, I guess is what we can call her. Let's see. I work at a tavern doing cleaning and taking customers their drinks and food. That'll have to work. I have no family. I live at, I live with, I live in an apartment. If I can get these work, if I can type the right letters, live in a room at the tavern. That'll have to work. So let's see. So that's that. Says this first experience is a little different than most experiences in that it's a broad summary of the vampire's life before becoming the undead thing. This experience will be slotted into the character's records first memory. So, kind of change some things around here. Let's see. So, give me just a second and I'll show you what I did. The memory number 1. So, I don't know if you can read that. It'll say memory number 1, and then it explains your character. This is before they became the undead. This is what they did before they became the undead. Okay. Then it says, next, create at least 3 mortals. So we're going to come down here and we're going to type in mortals. Let's see. First mortal can be, what should we name him? Let's see. Whoops. What the heck happened there? Let's see. We'll name him Zach. Let's see, we got Zach. Sally. Whoops. Don't forget the Y. Zach, Sally, and Drew. We'll say Drew. Okay, those are our 3 mortals. And add them to, these mortals will have a relationship with your vampire. They can be relatives, friends, lovers, enemies, mentors, debtors, or any other appropriate for the time or place you've chosen. Describe each character in a few words. Know that these characters can and should be very important, but will not be not be around for very long. Let's see. All right, so what you'll see, what I did, mortals. So I gave them those. All right. So with those 3 mortals. So Zach, it's just to describe them in a few words. So again, you don't want to over elaborate. Just explain their relationship to the main character that's going to become a vampire here in a few minutes once we get into gameplay. So Zach is Delilah. Let's see, Delilah's boss. Taught her how to Again, I'm overthinking everything instead of just going with the flow. Alright, so what could her boss teach her at the tavern? Ooh, he could teach her how to pickpocket. Once the customers were like drunk, because a lot of them are going to be workers that come in, for their, most of the customers are going to come in are men who are just getting off work, and so they want their alcohol, their beer, yada yada yada. So he teaches her how to pickpocket, and they're just gonna, the customers will just think that, they lost it while they're drunk or whatever. type thing. So, all right, Sally is Delilah's coworker / best friend. Sally knows how to, let's see. What do you want, Cat? You want some loves? I loves you in a minute. Sally is a coworker, best friend, who, let's see, what's something she's good at? Oh, you crazy thing. No, I don't want to do that. All right, so Sally, being just her and her drunk father, learned how to sweet talk men out of whatever she needs, I guess. Because her father's always drunk and stuff, so it's up to her to make sure, she needs her basic essential needs, basically. So, Drew could be, let's make him a customer who works at a farm. No, let's see. Works at a ranch. And let's see. I'm going to go with the word domesticates wild horses for job use. So by the time you get done with that, that's kind of what you're going to get. So your character, her first memory, and then you got the mortals that she knows, and you're going to want 3 mortals, okay? So with that, what else do we need? So give your character to be 3 skills fitting for their lot in life. Ooh, stop. What are you doing? Okay, what did I push? Hold on. I just did something to my tablet. Okay. Oh, no. No, what did I do? Stop. Oh, no, what did I do? Okay, let's get out of it and get back into it. It is... Okay, why? Why are you just pushing random... Okay, what do we got here? Let's see. Why are you doing... Oh, no. Oh, no. Okay, I did something, and now it's just doing that. So, yeah, I don't know what I did. I may have to... Oh, no. I am going to try restarting it, because I don't know what I did. Unless it decides to stop. Okay, it's not giving me my keyboard. Why? Why are you doing this to me? Turn off. I want you to turn off. Oh no. Yeah, I'm still trying to learn how to play with this tablet. It's a bit funky. Why? Voice. Oh, come on. Okay. Anyway, so much for that vampire doofinky thing. But anyways, you're going to want... I don't think I'm going to be able to type on this. But anyways, what you're going to want to do is after you create the character with her memory, you're going to have 3 mortals, describe the mortals, and then you're going to add 3 skills. So, Delilah... No, stop. So with Delilah, her skills working at a tavern, pickpocketing. What other skills would you have at a tavern? Fighting skills. Maybe she learned some kind of like street fighting or something, to kind of push off kind of learn how to deal with the unruly customers, kick them out the door, so pickpocketing, fighting. All right. Anyways. Sorry, my brother called. All right, let's see if we can figure out what we got going on here. No. Okay. Anyways, my tablet decided it's not going to work, so we're going to switch over and do, let's see. What's this? Okay. Don't mind all this. My tablet's being retarded. Okay, so we got Delilah. That's the first memory. And then you got the mortals, which I gave. And then we're going to give her 3 skills. Let's see. Delilah, tavern worker. No family. Has room at tavern. And then she's got 3. Let's see, that was memory number 1. It's best to use like a Word document on like a tablet, phone, laptop, whatever you got. That way you can add to it, because you're going to be adding and subtracting, adding and removing characters, okay? So, but since my tablet decides it didn't want to work, we're going to do that kind of a little different. All right, so mortals. Zach. He's the boss. How to pickpocket. And then we got Sally, coworker, best friend. My handwriting's gonna be sloppy. Learn how to I guess we could stick with learning how to sweet talk men. Let's see. Learned how to sweet talk men. Would that be considered a skill? Do you think that'd be considered a skill? We're gonna consider it a skill, just because. Let's see. Drew is a customer. Works at a ranch. Domesticating horses. Okay. So after you get to 3 mortals, you will give her 3 skills. So right here, we're going to put skills. And then we're going to do pickpocketing, if I can speak. Let's see, pickpocket. What other skills would she have working at a tavern? Hand-to-hand combat. That's the word I was trying to think of. I didn't want to use the word fighting or fighter. Hand-to-hand combat. That way she can protect herself from the customers when they get all unruly and violent and all that happy shit when people get drunk. Let's see, that's 2. What's the third one? That's another skill she would have working at a tavern. Dancing? She could be a dancer. We'll do dance. We'll go with dance. Just, kind of entertain the men, when they're there. Okay, and then next, after the 3 skills, 3 resources. Resources can be pretty much anything. It could be a knife. It can be a piece of land. It can be a watch, necklace, whatever you feel your mortal could use. Anyway, so my handwriting is sloppy, but so far, there's that. You really should have room. Give yourself enough room to add characters, because you're going to be adding mortals and immortals. But I am just going to wing it and kind of do it a little different. I'll show you. Like, for instance, this one, I have one called Bridget that I've been working on. So I had the characters that I started off with. And as I progress through the prompts, I'll write the prompt number, and then, I'll add the character, and then I'll do a journal entry of the prompt. Instead of going back and adding the mortals to the mortal list that you're supposed to. So instead of, take this for instance, instead of adding, say you got Drew, if you're going to add another one, say like the other one's name is Cheryl. You'd add Cheryl right below Drew and then explain what her relationship is, or, what she does, in regards to like Delilah, how they know each other type thing. So that's why you would keep space, but I do it a little different. Same with skills. You're going to add and subtract skills. So you don't want to leave yourself a little room. I'm going to go ahead and leave a little room. for the skills. Which means we're going to go to a new page. And we're going to give Delilah resources. These are all things that she has or had before she becomes the vampire in 1,000-Year-Old Vampire. So resources. What are some resources she's going to have? I don't think she's going to have much resources. I mean, she don't own the tavern. She's going to own... Okay, she's a pickpocketer. So, she says she's going to own a pendant that she pickpocketed off of one of the customers. So, pendant. Let's see, what kind of pendant should it be? It could be of the, let's see, pendant. What's it called? Locket? Which has a picture of a man and a wife. Picture of man and a lady. Okay. That she essentially, eventually, starts telling everybody that they're her long-lost parents, aunt and uncle, something like that, All right, 2 more resources. What's another resource she'd have? Money. Let's go with some money. Let's say she has some coins that she pickpocketed off someone. So coins, and then a satchel. I don't even know how to spell satchel. So those are her things. Those are her resources. What'd I do? Okay, anyway, some of my papers fell out. I'll just put those over there for something. That's what happens when you tear apart your thing. Been working at this for half an hour. It's a slow process to get started, but once you get started, it can go fairly quick depending on how quick you want to answer the prompts. So yeah, the setup on anything usually takes forever to do. And I tend to get patient and just say, screw it, whatever, we'll just do something else. Okay, so we need 3 more experiences. So it says, each of these experiences should combine 2 of your vampire's traits. If your vampire has the longship Boksuden as a resource, and the character Gundar, a Viking Jarl, like a father to me, you might write an experience like Gundar takes me on my first voyage aboard the longship Boksuden. I think that's like Norwegian or something. One of those Scandinavian countries. I don't know. His touch calms me when we first leave sight of land. Okay, so let's see. So let's say Zach. Oh, hold on. So that is what it's going to look like to start with. So we need 3 memories. So let's see, memory number 2. Zach guides me as I slip off a necklace. And yes, my handwriting sucks. So, memory number 2. Zach guides me as I slip off a necklace from one of the customers. They're drunk, so they're all drunk as heck, so they're not going to pay too much attention to what I'm doing. So, memory number 3. No, don't do that. Let's see. What do we got going on here? Alright, anyways. Memory number 3. I am going to go back and let's see, Sally. Alright, so Sally gave me a satchel to put my belongings in. So basically what you're doing is you're going back and you're taking a character and a resource and creating a memory with those. Memory number 4. Drew gave me some coins to help buy food. Okay, does that make sense? So your 1,000-year-old vampire is this, okay? So but yeah, it takes a hot minute to get your character created. Once you do that, it just kind of go with the flow. I almost forgot something. I was going to start with the prompts, but what we need to do is create an immortal. That's another reason why you leave space between skills and your mortals. That way you can go down in there and create an immortal kind of right there between there. But that's another reason why you should use like a tablet or something. I'm just going to go ahead and create my immortal right here. It also keeps it organized. You're not flipping back and forth through pages like I have to do with my other character, because I don't have all my characters right here underneath the characters or the mortals. I just add them as I do the prompt. So I'll write prompt and then character. So that kind of makes a mess there on keeping things organized and straight and not getting all confused and stuff. Cricket. I love you, Cricket. You my girl. You mama girl. All right, so immortal. Immortal is the one that creates you or makes you become a vampire. So let's say who is gonna be our vampire? Their name can be again, overthinking things. So many names running through my head, but I can't think of one that I want to use. Simon. Let's just go with Simon. Simon. Could be the new barkeep. I think is what they're called. Barkeep. Barkeeper, something like that. He follows me, or Delilah, to her room one night after work. And oh goodness. Okay, cliche, bites her neck. I know, very cliche, but I can't think of anything else at the moment. So, to play 1,000-year-old vampire, you answer a series of prompts. Answer these prompts to learn about your vampire, experience their travails, and be surprised by their doing. So you get to be surprised as anything. Let's see. In process, well, right here it says you can answer prompts either in writing like a journal or just out loud to yourself. This book is designed so you can write your responses directly onto its pages. So, if you're brave enough to, actually write in the book. I'm not going to because I got paper. It's just easier for me to do it that way. Oh, no. I lost my spot. Oh, I forgot to tell you about a mark. So the mark is a visible indication of your vampire's undying state or any other thing that sets them apart from the mortal people. So, like her could be... Maybe hers can be... You know what? Thinking the mark could just be the bite marks right there. I mean, if you don't want to do, like, the bite marks, it could be, like, extremely pale skin, unnaturally colored hair, her neck's hanging off, her head's hanging off her neck, and, she has to keep, like, some kind of a tie or something to keep her head on. I don't know. Use your imagination, whatever you want to go with. Oh, right here. Example marks include a pair of great bat wings. I cut them off with a saw, but the stubs remain. A dark halo I cover with tall military hats. Under the moon, my shadow takes the shape of a jaguar. Just, simple, subtle little things like that. But yeah. He can become an animal like most vampires turn into bats, in weird, awkward social whatever. Werewolves are humans and then transfer, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, so her mark, where should I put that? I'm going to put that right here. So, just going to go ahead and at the bottom here, mark. I'm just going to do 2 puncture holes. And she can just, to hide them, wear like a turtleneck or something. Because, people know there's going to be a vampire bite, like, oh my gosh, she's a vampire, Let's see, what else is there? I think that's everything you need to create your vampires. So, there's that. Tell me what you think so far, guys. Did I explain that okay for you? How to, create the character? If you have questions, just feel free to ask. Right here it says, okay, so each prompt has, I think, up to 3 questions that you can answer. Once that prompt is done, I think you when that prompt is done, you answer all 3 questions, go to the next prompt. So say you did all 3 questions of prompt 25, go to prompt 26 and start those 3 questions. And it says, if you are instructed to check a skill but have no unchecked skills available, lose a resource instead. So, there's all this stuff. If you lose a skill or reset, if I can talk. If you must lose a skill or resource and you have none, then your game is over. Narrate your vampire's demise using the prompt for inspiration. I forgot how to talk, apparently. Alright, so. There are 2 styles of play, though. You can play it as a quick game, entirely in the memory area of your character's record. This method is fast and satisfying and gives you a greater flexibility in interpreting your vampire story. In the journaling game, you keep a diary. So you'll take the prompt and the question, and then you'll write into the book or onto your laptop, tablet, whatever. Use it as like a journal entry. I have one that I've been working on that I'll write the prompt and the question, and then I'll go from there and do all that. So, just whatever works best for you, and then answer the questions naturally. Like, how would you act? How would you, go about reacting to the prompt, or whatever, or how you feel a vampire would react to the prompt in question at hand. So don't overthink it like I do. I tend to overthink everything, so. And don't fret about specific years, but do watch for obvious breaks in the timeline. A series of prompts might interrelate to tell a small story, only for something to interrupt that story. There's some prompts that say this much time has passed. How is your vampire going to react to the time change, the culture change, whatever? Because nothing stays the same. Let's see. And then from there, you're going to come to this page. So it's the prompt page. So it says start counting at prompt 1 on the next page. So you'll take these, roll them, and then you'll take this one and land it at 5. And you'll subtract this from that. So 5 subtract 1 is 4. So you'll go forward 4. So So starting from 1, so 2. Would it be 1, 2? No, it'd be 2, 3, 4, 5. So prompt 5, you would answer, right away. You murder someone you love or respect rather than let them expose you. Kill a character, check a skill. If you have no living characters, kill no one and create a beloved mortal character who you have betrayed. Okay, so, with that said, and usually what I like to do is say I got number 5. I would do this. Prompt 5, and then I'll do Q 1. So that's kind of how I do my journal entries for now. And then I'll answer it by saying, Sally came to check on me the next morning and noticed I was looking ungodly pale for a white woman. She noticed the bite marks. She felt the need to go and tell Zach. I panicked because I know I'm going to get hung or whatever for being a vampire. And I lunge at her and, I don't know, drank her blood dry. And then, let's see, what was the other part of that? Let's see, back to 5. Oh, and then it says to check a skill. Check a skill. What skill would we check? Oh, we could check hand-to-hand combat because hand-to-hand combat because she fought with. We were fighting. Let's see. Sally came to check on me, and my gosh, if I can do this. Anxiety is getting to me. And noticed, let's see, Sally came in to check on me and noticed I was ungodly. Oh my gosh, if I can spell. Pale. And 2 puncture marks in my neck. She went to leave to tell Zach. In a panic, I lunged at her and bit her neck. Drinking her blood. Okay, so, and again, I'm sorry, my handwriting is atrocious, but I can read it, and that's all that matters, so here we are. Anyways, that's kind of gives you an idea of that. Just make sure I did again. Resources. So resources, skills, characters, make sure there's enough room to put more characters, more skills, more resources. That's another good reason why you should probably use a laptop, tablet, phone, whatever that has like a Word document app or whatever. That way you can go back and, add to it rather than what I did, and now you have a jumbled mess. So that's that on creating and starting your creature, vampire, whatever you want to call him or her, or non-binary, whatever, you want your creature to be. There's prompts in there to where you can create more immortals. That does not necessarily need to be a vampire. It can be what other immortal creatures there are out there. What are some other immortal creatures? Like werewolves or something. I think werewolves can live forever too, or at least a long time. But yeah, there's that. Thank you for joining my live and listening to me ramble on about a 1,000-year-old vampire. Have you guys... Let me know if you've played... What in the heck? Alright, let me know if you've played 1,000-year-old vampire. And tell me about your character, you know, some of the stuff they've gone through. Okay, that's actually would be my second character. My first character's name is... What in the world is going on here? We have detected inactivity. Why is there inactivity? What do you mean? It was saying there was inactivity or something. I don't know what I did or something. I don't know. And just feel free to comment. I think that's what the problem was. Nobody was commenting or anything. Please comment and let me know your character, if you've played it, if you haven't played it, if you're interested in playing. Maybe we can do a live playthrough if you want. I don't know. Well, that took an hour to get through, to set up. You might want to remind viewers to follow you for your name. Yeah, go ahead and follow me. Maybe we could do a run through next time of 1,000-year-old vampire. Don't be afraid to ask questions. Comment your ideas. Anybody like solo RPGs? I do have a few besides 1,000-year-old vampire. I've got one called Loner. I've got... Let's see. Actually, I have a few over here. Let's see. That's not it. Okay, Loser. Have you guys heard of that? Who of you... do any of you play solo RPGs? If so, which ones have you played? Maybe we could do a playthrough of some, if anybody wants to do a playthrough with me. We can figure out, like, Discord or some kind of Zoom or something. I don't know. We can figure something out on... Or we can even go on to TikTok here or YouTube or I don't know. Figure something out to solo RPG play. I don't know. Sometimes it's interesting to do, you know, even the solo RPGs in a group, you know. I don't know. I'm just rambling at this point. Guess I will just let you guys go.